Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Jimmy Fallon joked a lot can change in a month. Right now, Kamala's campaign HQ is buzzing while Biden's have been turned into a spirit Halloween. Now, I don't know about you. I took the whole week off. Adam Sandler's got a new special on Tuesday. I'm basing my whole life around this one. People magazine caught up with Adam Sandler's family. They were at the New York City premiere of the big Netflix special, Adam Sandler, Love You. That's out on Tuesday. Adam Sandler, now 57 years old, revealed that his daughters Sadie and Sunny, some of Hollywood's up-and-coming actresses, they've been in several movies now, they've encouraged Adam Sandler to take his health seriously. Adam Sandler says, they always look out for me, and my health is just like I used to do with my dad. You go, man, I want this guy around. So I used to scream at my dad to quit smoking, and my kids scream at me to just calm down and try to eat a little more like a normal person. I used to take working out so serious, and now I can't effing do it. I play hoop, and then I eat. Every time I'm eating, I go, what are you doing, man? You don't need to do this. I can't stop. I just got a little bit of thickness all over. My kids, one daughter, Sadie, one of Hollywood's up-and-coming actresses, is always saying, Dad, get the trainer from the Zohan. Why would you ever give that up? Why did you stop? He told his daughter, it's a lot of work. However, on Gossip Corner, Adam Sandler was spotted in New York City playing basketball. TMZ reports that Sandler played a quick game of pickup with some other guys hanging around the area, most of whom look a great deal younger than the Sandman. TMZ adds that Sandler's not risking injury, though. He spent some time stretching before he got out on the floor and showed the kids who's boss. Sandler was wearing basketball shorts and a Hawaiian shirt. That's an outfit I might wear to a Jimmy Buffett concert. Not sure it's a basketball-appropriate attire. You know who's in a lot of Adam Sandler movies is Rob Schneider, who told The Hollywood Reporter, the thing about free speech is all speech. Free speech isn't for the nice stuff. It isn't for the socially acceptable stuff. Free speech is the speech that challenges you. Free speech is not nice stuff. Easy speech, or speech that's acceptable to everybody, doesn't need any protection. I'm there to challenge the audience. People get upset about things now, and that's okay. I think the more challenging the comedy is and society is, the more interesting the stand-up and art is going to be. Time out. Rob Schneider, you know you're in an Adam Sandler movie, right? Yes, okay. When everything's smooth, art is boring. So the 90s could have been kind of boring, but it's a good time now, and it's a challenging time. You know, it's good to see the art being pushed with such great films like Jack and Jill and Hubie Halloween. I mean, Sandler, Schneider, you guys are pushing the edge and sticking up for free speech. I appreciate you. Hey, great news. Just for Laughs, Montreal is back. I hope to see you up in Montreal next July. We can have a beverage and some poutine. Kamita Ha. Did we settle this? Somebody told me on the side how to say it. Kamita Ha, Comedy Ha. Those guys, the new owners of Just for Laughs, have announced several upcoming festival dates. This is great. Just for Laughs Sydney is back one of these years. I'm going to go there and expense it on the podcast, but it won't be this year unless somebody else pays for it. On November 18th through the 23rd, Just for Laughs Sydney will feature Trevor Noah, Eric Idle, Brad Williams, and the All-Star Gala, hosted by Melanie Bracewell and many, many more. Just for Laughs Bermuda. That would be a good one for Johnny Mac. I've got remote equipment. January 22nd through the 24th. Just for Laughs Vancouver in February of 25. No specifics yet. And the big news, JFL Montreal, July 16th through the 27th. Nick Brazeo is the head of programming for Just for Laughs and said programming these festivals is an exciting opportunity to innovate while staying true to the core of what has made Just for Laughs so special over 4 decades. We focused on curating a diverse mix of established names and emerging talent to platform and celebrate comedy's best. I'm looking forward to that one. Michael Che and Colin Jost are up to a few things. I know Che is working on a pilot for a late-night show. I'll tell you about that one on Tuesday. Che wrote on Instagram, me and Jost doing a live show on Peacock. It's going to be nuts. That's what we should call it, but nobody listens to me. They're hosting a live stand-up show on Peacock on September 12th. We are not getting paid, just wanted to do it. Mike Birbiglia had a fundraiser in Los Angeles. Birbigs and friends raised nearly $20,000 for the YMCA of Greater Los Angeles. Joining Birbigs were Judd Apatow, Nick Kroll, Larry Wilmore, Atsuko Atkatska, and Billy Strings. Had a little bit of TV time and punched in the Netflix, checked out Langston, Kerman, and Chad Daniels. I started with Langston's special. I had him as a guest about a year and change ago on this very podcast and, enjoyed him. And the special was it was just on. It was one of those where it's fine. It's not annoying. It's not hilarious. I'm playing on my phone. I'm distracted. And I was like, I want to watch something else. So I bailed on it. That will not make the end of the year list. It's by no means bad. Much, much better. Chad Daniels on Netflix. Finally got around to that one. That has made my end of the year list. And it's in the top tier So I kind of have 2 tiers on the list as it's developing, or I guess 3 tiers. So there's tier 1, which is Roasted Tom Brady, Attell, Triumph, Cross, Adomian, Dusty Slay, Kyle Kinane, Matt Rife, Sam Morrell, Dimitri Martin, Jimmy Carr, and Chad Daniels. Those are your top 12. Then there's like a gap to Cat Williams, Hannah Gatsby, Connor O'Malley, Brian Simpson, Tig Notaro, Taylor Tomlinson, Rachel Feinstein, and Joe Rogan. And then I have a whole bunch of things that are just in a section called Not on the List. And I'll tell you about those in December because there's no reason to pound on them. But Chad Daniels special, very, very funny and very strong closer. Was very impressed by them. Chad Daniels, you may know, is in a relationship with Kelsey Cook, who's at the Great Outdoors Spokane Comedy Festival this weekend. And she discussed being an opener versus a headliner. And Kelsey says, I feel like you want to keep in mind that you're not necessarily the person that people are paying to see. You want to try to set the headliner up for as much success as possible. There's sometimes a little bit more looseness to try it and maybe some new material, stuff like that. But when you've got a shorter set opening for a headliner, you really want to lock it in and do your strongest jokes. She's from Spokane, so can do some local material, and says, obviously, if I try to joke about the garbage goat in Milwaukee, people have no idea what I'm talking about. I shared with you the other day Eric Andre's Instagram message. It did not go over well with the Australians. You may recall Eric Andre shared a story in which he felt he was racially profiled. One commenter, in response to the video, wrote, "It happens to everybody that comes to the country. Don't want to be searched? Don't travel. Playing the race card is a low blow to people just trying to keep our quarantine laws." A second person self-described as pasty white and said they've been pulled over randomly multiple times by sniffer dogs or to get the swab for explosives, adding that it takes 5 minutes and it was pretty pathetic to be making accusations of racism. A third said, "What a load of BS. I've been taken aside twice in the last 3 years for exactly the same screening. If it's 100% racial profiling, then these biosecurity staff are bloody colorblind. I did some travel last week. I was at LAX, and they pulled my wife out of line. We were the only 2 people on the entire line, and they picked her, and they did whatever they did with her phone. They wanted to see her electronics, and we went on our way." A Ukrainian comedian has shared his disappointment that his Edinburgh Fringe show is attracting audiences of 3 or 4 people, despite it being the only stand-up show that touches on the biggest war happening in Europe. Dima Watermelon is performing in the 40-person free Fringe venue. He told The Independent he's faced several barriers in bringing the show, which sheds light on the situation in Ukraine, to the festival, including the challenges which come from being an international performer. He said, "My main frustration lies with the Fringe media. I've received virtually no reviews, the only one coming after I personally approached the reviewer following his review of another Russian comedian living in the UK now and handed him a flyer for my show. I don't understand the low interest. There are thousands of shows, it's true, but only one touches on the biggest war happening in Europe right now." Watermelon told Edinburgh Live, "I've done some terrible shows with small crowds, some weekday shows with 4 to 5 people. Usually it's around 10 to 15 people. I've had some shows with 30, which is good for a 40-seat venue. I was expecting more attention from the press to get into the UK comedy circuit. It's a good show. I'm frustrated by the lack of attention." The BBC caught up with some TikTokers at the Fringe, which ends today. Courtney Buchner told the BBC, "All that time posting on TikTok helped me build my confidence. Having that online platform where I could try things out and feel a little bit safer. Now I'm ready to say to an audience, I'm opening this up to you in a live reactions rather than having a reaction in your room and I don't get to see it and you might not like it and I just swipe by. You do hear things like, they're only getting by because of their following. My answer to that is getting that following took time, patience, and talent. And I'll leave you with this. Titans quarterback Will Levis has a new mayonnaise-inspired fragrance. That's right. Will Levis number 8 has many fragrance notes, including tart lemon, mayonnaise accord, parsley, coffee undertones, musk, and creamy vanilla. It's a collaboration with Hellmann's. A bottle goes for $8. It is sold out, but they're planning on making more. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. They might like it too, you know? See you tomorrow.